sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Good evening, Rocket League fans. We are back with some SGL Match Day 7 vibes. We've got some Premier League action today between Matador and ECRC. In the wise words of Maz, I am not alone in the booth. Joining me is my fellow accounting brethren from Steel Army, Mr. Debit. Debit, how are we doing this Tuesday evening?
We have a debit. There's no credit yet. Maybe one day. But for right now, I am still the debit, and you are the ride dog. The vibes are good because we have Prem action back here, especially when we got two high scale upper echelon teams going at it here this evening. The vibes are great. Let's continue it going. Let's have a good time before we get into the pod.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Like you said, Debit, it is a top 3 clash. I think this is number 2 versus number 3 currently in the Premier League standings. Maz, if you don't mind, let's jump over to the table if we have that ready, just so we can see kind of where we're at here as we get into week or match day 7. And for those of you who joined us yesterday, you probably know all about this, but we are only going to be focusing on that left side of the screen. The championship matches will be played either this week or next week, but they are quote unquote due next week, so we won't worry about those now. But yeah, Debit, number 2 versus number 3. I guess let's just start with EM. Maybe they're at the 2 seed. What's obviously they're the champions from season 8. Kind of what surprised you? What's they're not first anymore. KC's taking that throne. Talk to me about EM a little bit.
Well, indeed, let's talk about EM because you're seeing a lot of players up on the screen right now. And if my eyes do not deceive me, that is 5 players with at least 10 games each. We've got players that can rotate in and out of this squad so many different ways that this honestly feels like such a balanced squad at the end of the day. We've seen pretty much every combo possible, including, the Couve getting in a couple games, getting that 50% shot rate. We've kind of been looking to see like if Luis and Caesar will be the ones that will take over the series, but honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing how Kiwi and Huey fit into this kind of matchup because they have been two rising stars in this El Matador team.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you put it perfectly, Debit. They've got a stacked roster of players that they can throw any combo that they want, and you're gonna get something maybe generally still very good, but definitely something a little bit different, a little bit of personal flair, if you will. So we'll see how they start, of course, game 1, but then also how they kind of make some subs during this series, because they are a team that does like to rotate, kind of like a EC Defiance, where there's kind of different rosters as we go through the series. And of course, on the other side, they are facing an ECRC team who have kind of snuck up the table, if you will, a little bit. I think they're 3-2 compared to the 4-1 that EM are. But Debit, as you can tell, not as many players, but definitely players that can make impact.
Oh, 100%. And honestly, whenever you go down the line, I think one of even the most impactful players that we've seen this season from ECRC has been the one with the least amount of games in Smash League. I mean, I think their first series, they ended up having like 2 1/3 goals per game. It was an insane ratio. I mean, this team basically runs on the heart and soul that is Mr. Toad Death over there, shooting 36% on the year, defensive stalwart over there, the one that clears the path for the teammates. So it's going to be like, do you want to slow down Toad? Do you want to give him the opportunity to maybe take the teammates out of the equation? This is one where we're going to have to look back and forth to see like who's going to be carrying most of the load because we know that ECRC is such a team-oriented squad. Like they love to do passing plays, they love goal participation as a unit. So it's going to be how do you stop that chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to give too much away, but we are going to see some different iterations from them today as well. What kind of looking at these stats though for ECRC, it's kind of funny because this is in my head at least how this roster would kind of play apart from one stat that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. with Toad kind of being the the offensive prowess. Obviously, he was our Golden Boot winner last season in season 8, and then you have a Gojo who just kind of plays in the midfield. He does a little bit of everything, not super dominant in one stat or the other. And then you have a Howling Moon who's come in. This is his first SGL season, and he's definitely making an impact as a third man for them. Also, super technical player as well. But it's that one stat from Toad, 29 saves. That's kind of throwing me off a little bit and throwing my thoughts kind of array. But nonetheless, yeah, definitely watch out for this ECRC team because they may start slow, but they definitely pick it up over the course of the series.
It's a good thing
So,
to mention over here. Yeah.
Go for it.
I was gonna say it's a good thing to mention. Seeing how this team starts slow, but it's like you want to shut them down as early as possible. Like if you're El Matador, we're used to seeing them go for these longer series, these stretched out series, ones where they kind of enjoy the pace of play, no matter what game they're in. But for ECRC, this could be the opportunity to kind of sneak in, and honestly, even probably sneak ahead in the standings, depending on how many games we got going over here. But even then, if they end up taking this in 5, they'll be level on points. So either way, ECRC, they could probably do some damage here.
Yeah, if you leave an ECRC team kind of hanging around, they're definitely going to pounce indeed. Just kind of reminds me of their series against LAFC last season. Kind of quite the opposite, where you have an LAFC team actually that kind of hung around a little bit and ended up getting that series win. But we do have our teams in the lobby. We're going to get going here very, very shortly as we kind of look at the comparison between the two teams. Debit, do you have a prediction going into this best of 5?
Honestly, this is kind of an insane back and forth that I really don't know how we're going to see the command of this. I'm not going to lie. I see a 5-game set, and I might just barely give the edge to El Matador here. Like, that it kind of pains me to say. I almost feel like ECRC are going to take this, but at the same time, it's hard to doubt El Matador in these situations.
I agree. I think EM's ceiling is higher, and I think if they're just on their game, I think they will definitely come out on top. But I think maybe their floor is a little bit lower than ECRC, so I think it kind of depends on the EM that we get tonight for how this result's going to go. But if I had to put a prediction on it, Debit, I really like that Game 5 prediction. I'm going to go EM in 4 just to be different. But I do think EM is going to win, and also I don't like Seattle being a Portland fan, so that's just maybe a little bit of internal bias there. Going into Game 1, we have our teams in the lobby and on the field, and Game 1 is about to kick off. Debit, look who we got starting for ECRC. It's Mr. Smashley. Mr. Not a lot of games, but he's getting at least 3 more today.
Yeah, it seems like it can be the bane of some people's, existence of having a car. Oh, see an open net miss here from Kiwi. Yeah, Smashley is one player that you hate to leave out in the field solo, because if you don't know where they're going, you can literally just get taken out at any given point. And oh my goodness gracious, is that a Marauder on screen? Is that based off of what we saw last weekend with RLCS?
It might be, but yeah, right now it's been all EM to start this game. Just barraging the net with shots. Of course, you highlighted it, that open net miss right at the start of the game, and now we ECRC have finally started to stabilize a little bit as we see Toad once again trying to be ahead of the ball and get some demos, as there's going to be a double commit. That net is open for a second. It's going to be another bump from Toad Death, but Smashley just kind of hanging out, and unfortunately he goes a little bit too late, and Huey and EM are going to start on the board first.
Yeah, this was absolutely crazy in front of net. You had no idea if there was going to be a third coming in. You thought maybe Smashley could, and you have to go at that last moment, maybe get a touch on something, but Huey has just enough finesse to trickle that through, getting the open net downfield. A little shaky on defense, but you recover pretty well. Have a 1-goal lead. start off on the front foot if you're all Matador. If you're ECRC, you're probably looking at saying, it's just a fluke.
And we kind of talked about it a little bit, Devitt, on the pre-show, where ECRC does tend to start a little bit slow, and I think they just take kind of a game to kind of see what their opponents are throwing at them and adjust as needed. To see a really awkward play from Toad Death gets bailed out by Gojo as they try and connect and clear this ball, but EM being very patient in the back and picking up a lot of boosts as we see. Yes, I think it's a Roadhog is what we've determined that is. I can't tell if that's the XL version or not, but nonetheless, it's gonna get the ball into the net. Luis doubles the lead.
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to look at like where the defensive lapse was over here, because this just ends up being another empty net here against ECRC, probably playing into that whole, coming into the series, get another feel out game. Oh, that's a huge whiff by Smashley over there. Maybe they can get a flip reset assist over here. Looks for it, doesn't quite get it. But if you're all Matador, you're probably taking this pretty well so far, but probably wondering when something will end up going against them, as it nearly does. Toad has an excellent opportunity, but just goes off the crossbar.
And here comes EM again. Kiwi to the backboard. Luis is doing some funky stuff in the Seattle net, but it's not going to lead to anything as Gojo's going to get a really good pinch clear out. But that pass earlier, I think it was it Gojo to Toad Death or Smashley to Toad Death? Toad Death was up the field. And that might be the secret to unlocking this EM team, is maybe can you sneak by him and kind of redirect a shot on target, as we see the physical play starting to come out from ECRC in their typical fashion, but no rewards this time. It's going to be the Roadhog. He's going to get the dunk on Toad Death. It's 3-0 EM.
Yeah, this is one where like you think he's going to go for the assist, he's going to go for the pass, then he just kind of fakes it and says, all right, I'm going to take the 50 against you, no matter what happens over here. Toad gets kind of caught out there, and you try your best on that one, but you're just caught out at that point. Excellent play by Luis. 3-0 here to El Matador just about halfway through.
Exactly, as you see some awkwardness come out from Kiwi. It's going to be a really good recovery in the end. Once again, nothing really to show for it, as we see a lot of physical play. Can Toad Death get there? He can. He's going to continue his attacking prowess on this team, and the lead goes down to 2.
Yeah, you got to capitalize on these moments of, I don't know, like awkwardness, as we saw first off with Kiwi trying to clear the ball out. A lot of El Matador players just sort of surrounding, trying to drive around, get back into position somewhere, and your ECRC, that's where you capitalize. You cause the pain and the issues going over here, as Toad is definitely trying to look for that right now, trying to cause a bump, anything to inspire his team right now. For El Matador, gotta watch some of these defensive touches or may end up getting scored on.
Absolutely, I like the physical play coming out for ECRC. I don't like that miss from Smashley, and she kind of brings up, as bad as that play was, it brings up an interesting segue for me with how they're gonna perform without Howling Moon, and that's gonna hit the crossbar twice, and Toad Death is gonna tap it in. So Toad Death with 2 goals, and ECRC are right back in this game.
Dude, legit just a dunk right there. If you're Luis, you're like, how the heck am I gonna get this one out? I hope Toad's not here. Nope, he is. Right there, ready to go, nearly in the first time. But continuing on with that conversation, yeah, ECRC, they got the stuff right now. Gotta watch out for this momentum shift.
So as we see Luis flying in and hitting the crossbar, and nothing there. Smash is going to keep this ball moving forward, and once again, the third man from ECRC is committing just a little bit too much, as that's going to be another one on the board for EM. So back and forth stuff, kind of in the tail end of this game, just over a minute left. And yeah, for ECRC, they don't need to panic quite yet, but they might need to start thinking about it as we approach the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, this has been like an interesting game so far. It's definitely not been the teams at their best, but I wouldn't even say it's at their worst. It's just got that, feeler out game that you think like we know a lot about both these teams right now, but they still got some pieces that are still, newer, getting used to, play within SGL over here, that these games are pretty much always fresh to this point. So it's interesting to see how the mistakes and the pace of play just end up shifting over time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of want to go back to my previous point about how ECRC play differently with Smashly than they do Howling Moon, maybe, but as I say that, it's going to be Kiwi. Once again, it's just a key miss from Gojo there. It's kind of unfortunate. Didn't get the jump that he wanted, and Kiwi will say thank you very much. And the nail is on the coffin. It's not in the coffin quite yet. There's still plenty of time, but it's on the coffin.
Like the hammer's around, but just hasn't quite made the first indentation. But yeah, going back to your point there before, whenever it comes to Smashly being on the field, I think you've seen it multiple times at this point. Smashly is that one that you want to like slam home that either open net or be the one that like sends a downfield, passing play or just like a breakout sort of play for ECRC. I want to see if maybe they make a sub in game 2, maybe see a little bit of Gojo Howling Moon action, trying to, be the catalyst for the offense instead.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see if they can make some sort of adjustment, whether it be subs or something like that going into game 2. Nonetheless, it was good resilience from them to come back after being down 3 goals fairly early in this game 1, but after that second goal win, and I think they just got a little antsy and ended up getting the third and fourth goals kind of scored on them fairly quickly, and at that point it's you have to crawl back. You got you dug yourself a hole, you kind of climbed back up, but then you started digging again, and unfortunately for them, they will start out 0-1 as we see a possible substitution, though it's going to be from the EM side, or it could be Luis just changing cars. So we will have to see how that goes in game 2. I thought he played fine in the Roadhog, but well, I guess we'll see. And yeah, once again, we'll see how ECRC respond. Of course, like I mentioned, I think they're one of the best teams, if not the best team, for mid-series adjustments. So we'll see. They're sticking with the same lineup this time, Debit. So we'll see how this goes into game 2.
Yeah, this is going to be one that we got to look and see how these teams are going to, shape up. Maybe we don't have some reinforcements for both these sides. Maybe they're just waiting in the wings. Want to see how this game 2 comes out, see how pace of play goes. But for ECRC, you mentioned it. How do you respond after this kind of game? It seems like they were, they had a game plan, and then when things didn't quite go their way, they needed to start getting to the scrappy ball, but they didn't quite unlock yet. So maybe this game they have the opportunity to have that sort of scrappy play that they've been known for in seasons past. See, could that be in? Oh, good save off the line by Toad Death.
I don't know what car that is, guys, so Rocket League purists, you can hate me all you want, but Luis did change cars. Yeah, it's an X-Devil. Do we think that's an X-Devil, maybe? That's a good shout, Maz. I like that. But nonetheless, it has been all ECRC in this game, too, so whatever they said in the halftime talk has been really beneficial up to this point, as we see Smashly going down to Toad Death, back down to Smashly. That's the 1-2 that we know and love from ECRC of the past. It's the combo, Smashly the Toad, back down to Smashly. What a play.
I don't know if you got that same feeling while watching them, but like whenever you saw Toad go up from a ball from Smashly, you just had that feeling that it was gonna work out no matter, if it got saved or not. Everything was just gonna be all right for ECRC, and it quite literally was. That's the stuff that we're used to seeing. It's kind of exciting to see them back to form already. It feels like just a minute in game number 2.
Yes, and Twitch chat, please let us know what car that is. We're saying maybe it's a Zippy now from Luis there. So like I said, my apologies. I don't know what cars are going on here, but is that still an Octane hitbox? Somebody fact check that for me. If it's still an Octane, it has to be, right? There's no way Luis would go something different. So nonetheless, it's now been a good response from EM as this ball is kind of navigating in the orange half, but nothing to show for it. Smash is going to take it off of Gojo and get another touch. But yeah, it's looking a lot better from ECRC.
Yeah, it almost looked like it took like a Smashly to warm up a game or something like that. He's making all the challenges and the bumps right now. It's freeing up Toad in a lot of spaces. And Gojo, I feel like we haven't still seen the full Gojo yet. So maybe that's something we'll see. Still getting at least good touches in the midfield in these challenges. But now we just gotta see if ECRC are gonna end up continuing this, or maybe they'll end up making a mistake. But right now, they are on the front foot. They're pushing El Matador back into their own half so well as Smashley gets the second here for ECRC. Oh, did we lose him again?
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go. I'm back. We're good. I
Okay.
was freaking out on my mic. I had it muted. Actually, I took a drink of my water bottle. That's why. But it's the OG combo of Smashley and Toe Death just combining. I'm not surprised that was such a beautiful play. And Huey kind of got flat-footed there on the goal line as we see Gojo this time trying to connect with Smashley. Nothing there this time. But yeah, EM looking a little bit more. It's like patient on the back line, but frantic at the same time. As finally they get on the board here. It's going to be Kiwi this time after a really good shot from Luis, forced a good save from Toad, but couldn't quite get the follow-up.
Yeah, this is the EM that you could see break out. This is the kind of plays that they love to do. These quick strike passing plays, bang off the wall, forcing Gojo and Toadeth in these awkward situations. And it works out really well. Kiwi getting on the board over here, cutting the deficit. So we gotta see how maybe these breakout plays are gonna work here for EM, because they're forcing ECRC to make some awkward moves. But right now, even Luis picked out his own teammate. Huey ends up taking it slow, ends up getting saved off by Gojo. Smashy gets a little bit of his teammate as well. So ECRC are able to hold the line for now. It's not as quick as you'd probably like to see, but they do end up getting a shot on net. Huey gets the save. A little dangerous there, but El Matador cover the net.
Absolutely, but once again, it's more patience from ECRC on the back line, as they're kind of just saying to EM, hey, you can have 3/4 of the field, but you're not having the last quarter, and it's been very good defensive posture from them so far, apart from that one chance and one goal from them, as we see Toad Death trying to cheat up once again from Smashley, as Toad Death is trying to add to his demo counter, which I believe, if I remember from the stats from the pre-game, was also very, very high, as per usual, as we see Gojo now taking it from his own corner. Huey with a good challenge, and yeah, Devitt, things have kind of stalled a little bit after we saw some offensive flurries coming out from ECRC. That net is open. Is that going to be in? No. Smashy didn't have enough boost to get behind it, but once again, it's another good attack for ECRC, and nothing doing right now.
And it was good attack indeed. Able to cover the line. Gojo looking for a classic mechanical play set up. Not enough boost. It probably ends up getting the flip out of that one, but can't do anything at that point. That's saved off the line for El Matador. You got a minute left. You're hoping that you can capitalize on... Oh, that's 2 whiffs over here. Luis gets over a third, beating Gojo. We're tied.
Yeah, it definitely gets the run of play for sure. Toad Death didn't get the touch he wanted, and Gojo, I'm not sure what was going on there, but definitely didn't get the touch he wanted, and Smashley made the executive decision to say, hey, I might have to just go for this, and with Luis's speed, you're not going to beat him there, and it's all of a sudden it's 2-2. We keep talking about the ECRC offense being so much better in this game too, but they are still tied, which I think just speaks credits to EM as, you know, the resilience and to not give up, and they're always being kind of in this game. As we see a boost steal come out from EM, Luis with a flip reset. Huey's going to get up there, but it's going to be a good read from Toad. As we kind of level off again with 30 seconds left. Gojo, that's a backflip. That net is open. Can Toad Death get back in time? He can. That was a very scary if you're an ECRC fan.
Holy moly, that scared the crap out of me, and I'm not even on this team. It feels backflip, man. Ends up working out for ECRC. We could end up going to overtime over here. Gojo tries to get an assist, leaving Smashley back. Luis able to maybe go for a bump. Toad able to get the clear. Can Kiwi get one more? Smashley, no touch. No double over here. Oh, ball touches the floor. We're going to overtime.
Going to overtime indeed, as we see a really good kickoff win from EM, as they're going to stay on the attack, and that ball's going to go off the backboard. That's really good patience from Gojo. It almost cost him, though, as we see Gojo. Once again, I think Gojo's just been, feels backflip, man. There's been quite a few times where he's been backflipping a little bit. I don't know if it's on purpose. I would assume not, but it's led to those little mistakes. EM will definitely capitalize. They're a good enough team to do that, as we see Luis going to the backboard. Can he get it double? That net is open, and it's going to be Huey. So a 3-goal comeback for EM as they take game 2.
Oh my gosh, and taking 2 out with him. Gojo nearly got back to this one, but Huey so wisely shooting far side, saying, "You ain't got no chance at this one. We're taking the comeback." EM get this one. They're up 2-0, and ECRC, I don't know. Everything seems like it was going so well for you. It just kind of collapsed in those like few moments of just like disorganization.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, Debit, of was there a moment where that caused panic, or kind of a one particular moment that caused kind of the downfall, if you will? And I really don't think there was one. Maybe you could say the first goal from EM kind of freaked them out a little bit, but yeah, definitely the gas was definitely let off for ECRC in that game. So baby steps, we'll say, maybe for them. Maybe they play even better in game 3. And we'll see, as we're going to see a sub come out for EM this time. So they are going to their death. I'm not going to reveal who it is just yet. We'll wait and see going into game 3. But Debit, anything else for ECRC that they need to do to take a game off of EM?
Honestly, you got me right now. They've controlled pace of play so well in that game number 2. I feel like if you're gonna do anything at that point, it's just minimize those mistakes. I mean, maybe it's like the Gojo feels backflip, or that random moment where all 3 of them wasn't able to get the ball in the midfield. It just feels like it came down to a game of mistakes at that point. So I feel like for this Emerald City RC side over here, they just gotta take a breath. Got this. You know how to hit the ball really well. Just play as a unit. You got the download. Just do what you can against this EM team.
Absolutely, as we're going to see the sub, the main man himself, Mr. Kuv, is back in the lineup for EM, as we hope to see a strong start from ECRC. Of course, this is a best of 5, so if ECRC needs to reverse sweep to get the win, and I was just thinking about my prediction a little bit, and actually, if as a TA fan in the table, I actually need this sweep to happen, so maybe I should have predicted 3-0 as kind of the copium kind of thing, but nonetheless, we see Kuv here on the offensive end. It's going to be a shot from Luis. It's going to be saved from Smashley. Good patience from Huey, but doesn't really have the boost to do much, but going to try and do this. They're going to be clear from Gojo. Gojo switches cars. It looks like he's in the Octane after being in the Fennec a few times, as I think that's the X-Devil. Is that the hot shot from Luis? And I think he scored in every car that he's been in so far. It's 1-0 EM.
Oh my gosh, and if you're looking at this one, EM's getting the first goal. Kuv effect over here, if you wanna call it that. If you're ECRC, you're probably going, damn, this dude is switching off cars that he doesn't really use that much. We brought in the Kuv. What do we gotta do right now? Like what's gonna go right for this team right now? Because things are just going so against ECRC in this series right now. It feels like it's not up to them.
Yeah, I agree. I think individually they've played okay, and I think they just need to play better together, right? The goals that they've had have been from Smashley, Toad Death, combination plays, if you will, as we see Smashley off the crossbar, Toad Death. That's a really good touch from Huey. Good patience to get this ball out. He's going to take his time. Luis might try and steal that, but nothing doing this time. But yeah, once again, it's just been the individual plays from ECRC that just not their style, as we see Smashley this time just kind of sneaking the ball in the near post. I'm not sure who this kind of came off of. It was Kuv with a good clear, but couldn't quite follow it up, and the defense wasn't ready for that. All of them was 0 boost EM, and so that's why that could be also another strategy too for ECRCs. Hey, if you can steal the boost, get back to that physical play that you guys were doing earlier in the series, that might be their way back.
Yeah, it might be one of the solutions they can go for. Maybe you can follow Luis around a bit, like whenever he's going for those boost rotations, try to take it away from him so he doesn't end up taking it away from you. Because yeah, you've seen him in private lobbies. He loves to look at the boost and quite literally say, "Nope, mine." Even in no pressure situations, he loves just getting the boost. So your ECRC, this could be an opportunity to get a little bit out of the teammates, because we know El Matador, they are a team that honestly needs boost. I'm not even just saying this in a regular form of like Rocket League way. They quite literally are very, very beatable without boost. They look a little lost at times, so this may be an opportunity where they can take it right now. Kuv looking for Luis right now. Huey has to wait for the shot over here. Goes for backboard. Toad ends up pushing it out. Maybe another opportunity, but ECRC are positioned well enough to get this clear out. Looking for these teammate passing opportunities, but El Matador are still ready to take the ball away from them.
It's a good pass from Toadeth. Smash is going to keep it in. Keep the attack going for ECRC, but it's going to be a good clear out from Luis. But I agree with your point is EM is very beatable with no boost, and I think you could say that about a lot of teams. I don't think that's just EM per se. As we see an air dribble bump from Huey, doesn't quite get it that time. Gojo rescues the save there, but yeah, the boost game is very important, especially for, obviously we all know Luis, who loves his boosts and loves to go for these solo plays, but yeah, if you can take the boost off of him just like this is where you don't want him. 45 boost, gets a dunk. That one's just going to be high. And Gojo's going to clear this out. But once again, this game is stabilized with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Who's gonna get the, I think the next goal is going to win this series. Whoever scores the next goal is, or if EM obviously scores the next goal, I think they're taking the game. And I think if ECRC scores, I think they hold on.
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with that assessment. This game is definitely stalled in a lot of ways. Even with you know, the Kuv effect going on right now, it's been a lot of, you know, back and forth on this midfield side. Toad may find the last one, goes just by Kuv, nothing going over there. But yet, ECRC just need to find the actual final shot over here. Both these sides have had these opportunities going for them, but there's just a little bit of a lack of finish on both these sides so far. Maybe Gojo can be the one to do it. Nothing going for Toe Death. Huey has a good clear out. No boost, though, has to chase around. I don't know, we'll see how these opportunities shape up, but we're still back and forth right now.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. Who's going to get the next attack? It's not going to be Smashy. It's going to be Huey. He's going to put it wide. Gojo puts it to the corner, right to Luis with full boost. Can they get an early challenge? Gojo goes and forces Luis to just throw the ball away, so nonetheless, it's going to be good. Kuv with, we'll call it calculated fake there, as we see Huey take a lot of time. That was a little scary, but we'll call it really good patience from Huey as we count down the final 10 seconds. No boost for ECRC here as we see Gojo going to pass it up to Smashy. What a save from Luis. As will we get the second overtime of the series? Gojo's going to put this down. And yes, we do have our second overtime of the series.
Second OT, we saw El Matador take that first one over here. Gojo opting for the shot and the boost steal. Does well in his current moment. Gets a bump and demo on one. But Luis able to at least take it away. Smashley brings it right back down. Huey is out. The follow-up is not good, though, from Smashley. Maybe could have waited for another, but the score still remains 1-1. ECRC have all the pressure right now. We'll see if they can maybe get an opportunity. The dunks keep coming out. The final one is not there. Luis has no boost, and Gojo is able to capitalize on that. ECRC get a game.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate whiff from Kuv there. Kind of left the net open, and Gojo says, thank you very much. I will score that every day of the week. And so my prediction that I had of 3-1 is still alive, and that's okay, even though ECRC do separate TA and ECRC by an extra point. But yeah, and honestly, you see the scoreboard and you see Kuv with 78 points. I thought he actually played pretty well. And he actually looked really good. So we'll see. I don't want to say that was the reason why they lost that. I think ECRC just looked a little bit better as well. There definitely were some double commits and things that kind of led them to not have clear-cut chances, or maybe not get out from the defensive third as often as they should. But definitely, once again, a step in the right direction, right? Game one, kind of getting used to things. Game two, a little bit better. Overtime loss. Game three, overtime win. So they keep trending positively, Debit. Who knows what's going to happen in this game four?
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen indeed, because Luis has done the same thing every game. He has left and rejoined. So at this point, chat, like, you might as well, like, yeah, just start guessing the car. He literally put it in the chat. He's even asking his EM Big Dog teammate, Ponzi over there, hey, guess my car. You got a Scarab call?
Yeah, what do we got? Let's
Wait.
see. No, it's the Proteus.
Oh,
I think
what the heck?
it's the Proteus. It
Oh, this
looks like.
thing.
Yes, with the arms, right? It's got the little like arm things. But we see it. We do see another sub as well. It's gonna be Kiwi back in for Kuv as we see Toaddeath gonna go off the crossbar, gonna get a demo. He can. Where is the ball? Gojo is there. It's gonna squeak in. So momentum right now, riding with ECRC, Debit. We'll see what happens the rest of this game, but it's a good start.
That's an excellent start, and that's another classic ECRC goal. Like, as a Steel Army player, I kind of got flashbacks over there of watching Toad bang off the backboard, go clear out one of our teammates, and all of a sudden, one of their second or third is just readily available to get a free shot on net. Works out beautifully. Taking the early lead is something that they're going to love seeing here in this game number 4.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping that Gojo and Smashy can continue to play as consistent as they have been to allow Toad is just on a rampage right now. I don't think he's let go of boost this entire time. Going for bumps, going for demos, making things awkward, and hey, if it worked in one of the previous games, it might work this time as Toaddeath once again is going to pop this in the middle to himself. It's got a good challenge from Huey. As we see Kiwi this time on the right wall, he's going to play this down. Huey's there. Just jumped maybe a little bit too late that time. Luis, can he keep it in? No, and it's a little bit awkward from just about everybody as Gojo's going to clear, but things stabilized for now.
Yeah, a little bit shaky over there, and that early opportunity, Huey definitely found Huey, but maybe just wasn't quite seeing if that would be possible to do. But right now, El Matador regaining right now, going for the back pass to Huey, but that shot is not going to do it. Comfortably dealt with by Smashley over here. Isn't able to get a second touch over here. What can Kiwi do? Ends up coming 1v1 with Gojo. Gojo opting to go up onto the air over here. It's up by 1, and honestly, this could be where ECRC gets a little bit of a breakout. We'll see if there's a follow. EM are able to clear the line.
Yeah, it's a good clear from Gojo as well into the corner. He was the last one back on that last attack from EM. So we see, but once again, it's those little double commits, I think, that are going to ruin ECRC's momentum going forward. As we see Smashley now coming back with no boost. Who's going to challenge first? It's going to be Toaddeath. It's going to pinch right out to the middle. Kiwi's going to get a shot. I think it was wide in the end, but Gojo did deal with it, and it's another feels backflip man for Gojo, so watch out for that. That's a really good pass from Toaddeath, but Smashley had to turn back because he didn't have boosts.
Yeah, that's tragic. That's one of the classic setups that we're used to seeing from Toaddeath and Smashley over there. They looked for the breakout from Gojo, though, who's able to get a flip reset. Not quite a shot on target. That's a beautiful pass out mid, but unfortunately Smashley is a bit late to that one. Kiwi's able to cover. Sends it right back to Gojo, however. ECRC maybe have an opportunity for a shot. Not quite, but they're still holding on to possession in some of these breakouts really well. It's hard to argue that, they're in really any sort of danger right now.
Yeah, they definitely don't feel like it, or at least to me, it doesn't feel like it. As we see Huey's going to play this down to the middle. Gojo and Kiwi connect for 50. Luis with no boost in the Proteus. We'll see what he can do. He's going to fling it on target. Oh, that went through Toaddeath. Smashley, luckily, was right there in the meantime. Gojo and Smashley both go. It's going to be a double commit. 50 pinch out. So a good clear at the end of the day is, once again, yeah, EM maybe trying to ramp up a little bit to try to take this, as we see a lot of chain dashes from Luis to keep the speed going, but Gojo clear. So a little bit of back and forth, as that's a really good touch from Huey to save it from Toaddeath.
Yeah, really good save indeed. Kiwi opting to not get demoed in order to not take that boost away. May end up going against them. ECRC still have the possession going. If that one was able to get on target, maybe something could have been done. But right now, it's just going to be back to the midfield. Gojo still able to clear the lines. ECRC, if they have the opportunity to go for offense, they'll go for it. But they seem very comfortable with just sort of clearing their lines and then taking whatever 50 they got right now. We're playing a little bit of Mourinho ball right now. You see a potential double out of that one, nearly getting it off the musty, but nothing doing here for Luis at the current moment. Toaddeath goes down for that one, cleared off the line. Gojo going backward, maybe looking for Smashley, gets the shot off. Huey cannot get that one, and ECRC get a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I was going to say the momentum was kind of swinging back in EM's favor just a little bit, but I think that just kind of shut things down just for the moment, as that's a really good follow-up from Smashley. It's 2-0. 39 seconds left in chat. I'm going to point it out. Yes, you are right. Again, my Rocket League knowledge, not very good. That is the Grog card. The Proteus has the little hands. The Proteus has the little hands. And Toad Death has a third goal for ECRC, and that might just do it. And Debit, we might be going to a Game 5.
Yeah, the Proteus might have the little hands, but Toaddeath has a giant car front bumper that is willing to get that ball into the net, solidify the win. The Game 4 win here for ECRC. And just like that, Game 5 staring right there, as you had mentioned, ready to go. Oh, and Gojo is able to even get a ground pinch, if you want to call it that, just to redirect the ball over, and just adding a little bit of salt onto the wound to EM for this game.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of an extended timeout now if you're EM right now after going up 2 games and looking fairly comfortable in those 2 games. Of course, they did have that overtime win in game 2, but I still think they felt very comfortable. But nonetheless, it is all momentum right now for ECRC. I think ECRC wish that they could just start the next game right now and kind of keep riding this wave. Smashy's going to give it one more go. Can they get a 5th? Toad Death is up. It's going to be the Minecraft Anvil, and we are going to see Champions Field. Debit, my prediction is now wrong, but yours is still on the table.
Listen, man, when you know content teams, El Matador is still one of those content teams at heart. They love just extending series as long as they possibly can. And you know, I'm not even going to blame the Cube decision on this one. They definitely had the opportunity to do this here in game number 4, but they just couldn't break through that defense of ECRC, especially when one of those defensemen was named Smashley FC. Because good heavens, getting 4 saves on that one felt like it was clearing everything, even through that little bit of Toad Death miscue. Maybe the server said, no, I don't want to let you hit the ball right now, but either way, Game 5, Luis is switching up probably another car right now. Chad, who's winning this? Because, like, I know my prediction's still alive for EM.
Yeah, who's winning this, chat? Let us know. And also let us know what you think Luis is going to use.
Oh?
It's on random. Okay, so Luis has let us know that it's on random, so he doesn't even know. Until either the game starts or obviously he looks right before the match. But yeah, Game 5. Winner takes 4 points. Loser is sad for the rest of the night. Ripshark, you got ECRC in 8 games. I think that makes sense to me. As what do we got? I think he's back in the Roadhog. Back in the Roadhog. So he performed well in Game 1 with the Roadhog. So we'll see if he can repeat that performance here in Game 5. Champions Field. Here we go.
Yep. New car, Game 5, Champions Field. Already starting out with an air dribble for that one, but cleared out of the way by Smashley. Maybe get an opportunity. Toad is on the other side, waiting, knocks it down. Gojo, waiting that one out. Kiwi opting to just clear that one off the line. Smashley getting a boost right in time. And right now, we're probably gonna be looking at a gritty game over here. Both these teams, they do not want to lose at this point, even though they were both beyond level on points. If EM ends up getting that one, or actually no, if ECRC end up getting that one. But for El Matador, they can close or widen that gap a bit more between second and third for right now if they end up getting this game. But Toad Death, that's a brilliant little passing play. Gets the double. Can anybody get that one? No. Gojo ends up getting the rebound. And it's 1-0 ECRC.
Unbelievable game so far. It's been, yeah, I actually thought it was going to be really nervy and really cagey and, oh, who wants to make the first mistake? Who wants to, all this stuff. But looks like it's EM, unfortunately, making the first mistake. Gojo capitalized it. It's a beautiful pass and air dribble from Toad Death as they open the scoring and have all of the momentum in this Game 5 to start it off.
And now, like, in a little bit of space, Toad does really well to cut that one off. And I'm going to be looking for players like Huey in these Game 5 moments, these elimination game moments, if you want to call them. Got to end up laying the opportunities here for EM. It can't all be Luis out here. It can't be Kiwi doing all this stuff over here. We need these support players coming in huge here for EM.
Luis is going to play this in the middle. It's going to go right to Gojo. That's a really good touch from Huey, and Huey's going to kind of take it at this point and get a flick over one. But yeah, you can tell, I think it's Smashley's confidence. I think Smashley's confidence has been really high apart from that miss, we'll say. But he's looked really good, and his hits have been really hard because that Dominus GT can really smack the ball really well. And you know what else can smack the ball really well? The fruit. It's Kiwi. Levels it up.
Yep, just as you mentioned, smacking the ball hard, ends up getting a bump. Really unfortunate, but you know, really good play by Luis here. Knocking all the people away from the ball, getting Kiwi that opportunity. Beautifully placed. And we're dead even, just about 2 minutes through.
So this is the kind of game I thought we were going to get as we see Smashley go up. It's a really good save from Luis in the end. Can he recover? No. Smashley, can he turn? No, not quite. Toadeth is in a really awkward spot facing his own net, but does really well. Gets it by really 2 players. Huey's going to have to play this to the corner, and a team bump is actually going to allow Gojo to get back on this. Luis is going to be up very quickly to shut that down, but here comes Toadeth once again for ECRC. It's going to be Kiwi to Huey. That's a really good pass mid if Luis ended up peeing there, but Luis with no boost, and that leaves Toad on the left side of the field, and you do not want to give him that space and that time with that angle. And Toadeth is going to give the lead back to ECRC.
Yeah, no, that was just extremely opportune. Luis on low boost, just trying to knock this one over the corner, maybe if possible. But unfortunately, that was like a 3-man weave, just all ready to condense in on wherever Luis was sending that ball. Worked out beautifully for them. They regained the lead, but they got to defend right now. They do so really well in this first opportunity, getting the clear out through Gojo, and they can reset. Oh, hang on. Oh, shoot. Thought that was going to go in for a sec as a setup from EM to, Smashley over there.
Well, that's a good
Oh
demo.
my
That's
gosh.
a good double demo. There's carnage everywhere. Smashley, though, the one that was not demoed for ECRC, does get the clear. Toadeth is going to keep this going, but Huey's going to get a clear. Gojo is last back. Luis with a, we'll call it a fake. He's going to beat out one. Smashley with the demo on Huey. Just going to relieve pressure for now. But the 50 from the fruit on Gojo is going to level us up again.
What kind of 50 is this? What is this angle? That's insane. That off of Gojo's, top of his crown, whatever you want to call this one. I cannot believe that actually went in their net.
Oh, here comes Kiwi. It's going to be Luis following up. It's going to be a save from Toadeth. Yeah, it was just a really awkward from Gojo. Honestly, I don't really like that 50 challenge. Just, you're kind of leading yourself into disaster at that point, but Gojo's going to save this shot. Can he follow it up? No, it's going to be Huey back in the middle. This is where you don't want Luis. Try to find Huey again, but Huey was already turned back to go get boost. FCC, once again, a lot of extended attacks now from EM as they maybe try and get the momentum back. It's going to be Huey to the backboard, gets a double tap. It's going to be really awkward for the ECRC players in net, but thankfully Gojo is back in time. Kind of stalls the ball out in the corner. Toadeth is going to get a big clear, and we reset with 1 minute to go.
Oh gosh, that was really dangerous there. Toad looking for some bodies over here. Huey looking for another. Oh, it's an excellent save there by Smashley. Gojo getting another touch over there. ECRC's defense coming out huge on this one off the opportunity from Huey, but they got to regain again. They get a push out, going toward the corner. Smashley looking for maybe a body to throw this to, but right now we're preoccupied with taking some bodies out. Huey, oh, that's a great little dunk there from Kiwi. Maybe something could be brought out of it, but Smashley does really well to throw this one down the field. 30 seconds left to go. Who's going to end up getting that last, that closing curtain goal?
Oh, right now the ball's on the blue half, so it could be ECRC with 25 seconds to go. Toadeth is going to play this around in the corner. Can Luis get it by Smashley? He can. Now we're on the orange half. Luis off the back wall. Can he get a bump? He can. This net is open, but Toadeth gets a clear out, and that net is open, but Huey responds just in time as we enter the final 10 seconds. Back and forth stuff we go. Smashley, that's a key miss. Luis is going to come in. This is a free ball for Kiwi. He's going to put this up. Doesn't have a ton of boost, but this is really awkward for Toadeth, but he recovers. Huey this time off the post, and we have a Game 5 overtime. Next goal takes a series.
Oh my good heavens. Everybody was so awkward. I thought Toad was not going to be able to get to that one. And just off the kickoff, had such a beautiful bump there because Gojo definitely had an empty net if nobody was able to get to that one. Kiwi does well. Smashley coming in. That's a dead 50 over here. Kiwi is well positioned. Goes for the air dribble, gets the double. Oh, off the backboard. Oh, it's off the post. Kiwi ends up hitting it back toward the middle. We'll see what happens out of this one, but it looks like ECRC can only really clear the danger for right now, as Huey has boost, isn't able to get the hit. Excuse me. Now Matador able to clear for now. Back to mid.
Luis, that's a good challenge on Gojo. Gojo had a free ball, but Luis said, not today. Luis gets it by another one. Gets it by another one. Gojo is a really awkward spot. Requires Smashy to come in and clear the danger. Smash is going to take his time now. Tries to do a pinch. Leaves it for Gojo and gets the boost. Here comes an attack for ECRC. Oh, no demos found for Gojo sweeping the back line. Here comes the musty flick from Luis in the Roadhog. Nothing yet right now. Gojo, it's a 2v1 if they go quick.
No.
It's going to be a breezy flick. Luis rushes back in time. But once again, it's another extended attack for ECRC. Toad Death off the post. A huge bump, but nonetheless, things are maybe going to stabilize Luis on the left wall. What an absolute cinema game 5 we have so far.
Oh my gosh, it's just been like near chance after near chance. And we have another one over here. Huey does well to clear the line. It doesn't hit the ceiling. And Gojo's not able to double that one. Maybe EM has an opportunity to regain over here. But yeah, as you mentioned, it is literally just who is going to end up sneaking that next goal through, because these opportunities have come so close at times. We just need one to deliver. Oh, Toad just has a challenge and he's able to end this one. Oh my gosh.
The reverse sweep from ECRC. Never count them out in a series. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They get the reverse sweep and a huge 4 points to climb up the table. What a performance and what resilience after going down 2 games.
Gosh darn, I did not think that this was possible. I know we talk about slow starts, but what about the finish here from ECRC? They just kept fighting and fighting until the literal end, trying to get the best out of this situation that they were in, maybe hoping they could get like a couple games out of this one, and all of a sudden, they just fight their way through it. And sorry, Toad, we have to ask for a blessing for you, given that scoreline, but sometimes it just ends up working out that way.
Yeah, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, Debit, and I don't remember if it was Huey or Kiwi there. I think it was Huey who kind of trapped the ball and was taking it across net. As he was doing that, I was like, no, don't do that. Toad is right there. And Toad just says, thank you very much. Masamune in the weight room, indeed. But what a series. Guys, we got 30 viewers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. What an unbelievable series. Absolute cinema, all of that good stuff. And hopefully we're going to have some interviews. I think we're going to have... I see one person in a public chat that we might bring in here shortly. It might be Toad Death from ECRC. We'll wait to get official confirmation from that. But Debit, man, I gotta catch my breath. What a crazy game 5.
Yeah, I feel like we were both kind of like passing a torch, like, hey, please help me out. We were kind of able to just go back and forth for a while, because we really got into the whole back and forth affair between these two sides, just sort of marveling at what they could possibly do, because we really didn't know what was going to happen. It felt like it was just all straight reactioning at that point. We just had to literally wait and see how this one was going to play out. And it brought us cinema. It brought us content. Content is back.
Unbelievable. Yes, and we're going to bring in Mr. Toad Death from ECRC. Let's see if we can get him in here. Toad Death, my man, congrats on the reverse sweep. How is the Discord comms? How are the vibes right now from the team?
It was good. There was a lot of yelling involved, a lot of screaming. So I lost feeling in my pinkies and ring fingers, but it's starting to come back. So I'm glad to be here.
Oh my gosh, a losing feeling in the fingers. That's a new one. I didn't think that would happen, but after you play an exhilarating series like that, especially one where it seems like there was a lot of down and out throughout the first part of it, it seemed like nothing was going your way, then all of a sudden it just kind of exploded. And I mean, Ride Dog brought it up. Is that just continuously like the ECRC way, like groove into a series and take control?
Every series we tell ourselves it's gonna be different. We've prepared. We're warmed up. We've scouted. We have the tactics. And then every series we get proved to be absolutely stupid. So, but yeah, slow start again, and then we finally worked our way back into the game. Game 1 was interesting, was tough, but we started to get the taste, started to get the feel for it, and then Game 2 that was also tough. Going up 2 and then losing that one was rough, but such is life.
I guess, how do you guys like kind of bounce back from that? Obviously 0-2 down, you have to reverse sweep if you want all 4 points. Like what are there specific things that are said? If so, who's saying what?
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like all three of you guys are very obviously know the game very, very well. So I'm wondering if is it more tactical kind of when you go down 0-2? Is it more like motivational, like, hey, we're making baby steps. We lost in overtime this time, and of course game 3 ended up being, you got the win in overtime, so you're making even more progress. Like, what are those talks like?
Well, it's all mental, right? I mean, it's not like we're going to improve between games. So usually what we'll do is we'll choose someone to take all the blame. It's usually Smashly. We'll pin it on him, crucify him, and then once we're through with that ritual, we're back in game state, high, and we're into it. But if we're not going to crucify someone, then yeah, it was about being patient. I know Gojo shouted out before the series even started, we need to be patient, and we fucked off with that advice until game 3. But then eventually we remembered what he said.
Yeah, sometimes it's like heeding that advice. Do as I say, not as I do, but only until I literally drive the nails into your hands and feet will you finally understand what
We miss you, Francis.
continuing the trends. And even just to bring that up, just to ask the question, you finished with 666 points. Immediate thoughts on that? With
I didn't know.
game
I
5
saw
performance?
comments, something about devil, and I was like, I don't. This is like a inside Gen Z joke that I don't get, but now it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I lost feeling, so I wasn't even looking at the screen. I could only see like a little tiny pinprick in front of me. But we're back. We're good.
Very nice, Toe Death. Yes, I think it was an absolute cinema series, and obviously, you guys being on the correct side of it, I'm sure, makes it feel very good. I think I have one last kind of gameplay question before maybe we let you have the floor. But obviously, Smashly playing tonight instead of Howling Moon. Funny enough, I actually knew that going in. One, because I saw your Discord, but two, I saw Howling Moon over the weekend and knew that he wasn't going to be playing. But talk to us about like kind of maybe the differences between playing with a Howling Moon versus playing with a Smashly. Obviously, Smashly part of the OG lineup, if you will. But and you and him, of course, have that chemistry from prior seasons into now. Just what are the kind of are there gameplay differences? How do you feel like mentally, tactically, all of those?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually the kind of player who just doesn't really care. I'll adjust tactically and we'll make it happen. But in this, difference between Howling Moon and Smashly, there's a lot to talk about. So every game is quite different between the two of them. Smashly is much more of your typical, pass the ball, shoot the ball type player. Howling Moon has some twos play in him where he's like a lot more of a soloer. Someone gets to stay home while he gets to solo. So one's bringing the passes, one's bringing the solo plays. And interestingly enough, Smashly whiffs. So you got to be ready for the whiffs. I don't even know how you tactically adjust for that. But he brought him out today. I brought him out today. Even Gojo brought him out today. They were highly contagious. Gojo called ping. I don't know if I believe it until I see the replay. But there was one, I think it was in game 2, where this is not even remotely close to your question at this point, but I'm going to finish my point. Gojo in game 2 jumped up for the ball, and then like blipped out of existence, like he teleported, and then we got scored on to complete the comeback, and then that was how game 2 went. So that sucked. Back to your question though, yeah, there's a lot of differences: passing, individual play, mentality. So there's a lot to adjust to, but I think there's pros and cons to both, of course. And I'll take the diplomatic stance of they're both good players, and we love seeing them both on the field. It would be fun to get all 4 of us involved on the same day. Alas, our schedules are very full. It seems like we're all fully grown adults at this point, so it'd be that way.
Sometimes it happens that way. Imagine adulting. That's a bit too much.
It sucks. This is my away from adulting hobby. So
Exactly.
Very nice, very nice. Well, yeah, Toad, I guess one last thing. The floor is yours, my man. Once again, congrats on the win. But yeah, any shout outs you got?
Thank you. Shout out Smashly. Shout out Gojo. Shout out Howling Moon, wherever he is. He told me in chat where he went, but I already forgot. I think he's probably doing something fun. Unless it's a funeral. My bad if it's that. But shout out the guys. Shout out the Sounders Rocket League. I know they're in there cheering us on. We're cheering them on, so love to see the camaraderie. Shout out my wife. He is great. All right, I think that's it. I think we finished.
Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome.
Let's hope Howling Moon's doing something fun. I hope this doesn't come back to haunt if he watches back the VOD of this interview, especially.
Yeah. Do you know? Is he actually doing something awful?
I think he's going to a concert.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken. I saw him on Saturday, and I can't remember what he said too. So, oh well.
That's an unexcused absence, so that's gonna dock his points. But...
Yeah, I'm with you there. But Toad, thank you so much for joining us in the booth. Glad we got to feel a little bit of the victory comms, as well as we might be showing something special after our interviews here. But yeah, Toad Death, thanks again for joining us in the booth.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Appreciate
you as well. Yes, we know Toad Death will have a great night after that performance and after that reverse sweep. Reverse sweeps always feel good, no matter who they're up against. What the circumstances are. You're down 0-2, and you come back 3-2. It just feels good.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how many actually we've had up to this point. I know we almost saw one with EC Defiance and Black and Gold Old Timers. Actually, no, it was Black and Gold that did that against EC Defiance. I remember that for a fact. Yeah, those reverse sweeps are just like such confidence boosters. Probably like the highlight of your night over here. But also not fun to get reverse swept on. And we are going to be hearing from Mr. Luis here very soon, as we just bring him into the booth here now. Hello, sir. How's it going?
Hello, how are y'all doing?
We're great. We saw an absolute cinema series. In a lot of different ways. Obviously, the reverse sweep game 5 cinema, the overtime golden goal cinema, the we never know what card Luis is going to use cinema. I guess was there a method to the madness there with picking cards, or was it just hey, I just want to randomize and see what I get?
I don't know. I was like, kind of wanted to use different stuff, man. And so after game 1, I had the Roadhog on. Saw Itachi this weekend. He was rocking it. So I said, hey, why not? For SGL, let's just throw it on there. And then, yeah, after that, just kind of closed my eyes and just went to the screen and just tapping around. So I don't even know the names of the other cars that were used in the series, except for this one. So, yeah.
We were also struggling because I think, actually, it took chat. I don't remember who it was. I'll have to scroll up and find him. I think it was Ponzi, actually.
Yeah,
who
Ponzi
actually got all...
one.
Yeah, who got them all right. Whether he Googled them or not, we'll never know. But Ponzi, yeah, letting us know in Twitch chat, and Maz also doing some some back end work letting us know what cards, because we had guesses but we were wrong. So I guess we're not really Rocket League purists, if you will. But yeah, it was cool to see the card changes.
I actually like the Roadhog. I'm using it right now in free play. It's actually pretty good. I don't know. So
It's just like a
I don't know.
blockier Fennec, right? Like it's just a little bit beefier, right?
It's also polluting like crazy. I don't know if you.
my
It has
God.
like the double like exhaust. Yeah, not EPA approved. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Basically
You're-
driving a Hummer out there. But yeah, even through like all the changes and whatnot, we still got to see like a little bit of a rotated cast out there. Even getting Lacuve out there for a game. What was it like bringing him back into another series again?
Yeah, I mean, it's just always always happy when Colin can hop on. Obviously, there's been some stuff going on with him, personally. So like, whenever he can get on, like, I just always enjoy it. So, I hope he can make more appearances, man. It's always fun having Kuv, in the lineup.
And I guess maybe not touching on it too much, or I guess maybe as much as you want, but obviously going up 2-0 in the series, you guys probably felt pretty good. I guess, was there anything specific that you can think of that kind of led to the downfall of the series, if you will, for you guys, or was it just maybe ECRC playing more up to their standards, or a combination of the two?
Yeah, I mean, just didn't play as good. I don't know. It's I feel like every SGL series is kind of just it's kind of like that. It reminds me of like a hockey playoff series. You just go into the game and the momentum just does not carry over. It feels like so. You know, just have fun, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously the first two games went our way, and then yeah, you can't win them all. So
I
and
thought
yeah,
about making that
ECRC played
reference.
really well. They're a really good team. So yeah.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, especially how much you guys actually do play like the Dallas Stars in the playoffs. So it's only natural that you guys try to copy as much as possible, especially seeing you and Huey, the massive Stars fans that you keep talking in SGL about. So just makes sense that's like it that way. But yeah, looking at the table right now, believe this puts you on level points with ECRC through this so far. I think just 1 point ahead of the Cauldron right now. Uh, I mean, I know we're probably gonna ask this whenever it comes to the pod soon, but I mean, how are you feeling about your guys' performance so far? You think like this is still like a fair assessment? Looking through this many weeks so far, or I don't know, it's just sort of looking back at all the games right now. It just seems like crazy how much back and forth we have between the top four right now.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think we're in a fair spot. All things considered. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the top four teams in the Premier can all beat each other. Especially with you know, the kind of rotations that you see from various teams, ECRC, us. Yeah, it just kind of depends on their day who's gonna win. So, yeah, I think it's fair. Except for the KC Cauldron, like they suck. I mean, Serrano's terrible. So
Oof.
that guy smells.
Oof.
So.
Oof. Called out. I know Serrano was in here earlier. If he's still here, are you?
He's making fun of my
allowed to-
car. He's making
I
fun of
saw
my
that.
car.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't like that. But yeah, that's a call. I don't know when you guys play them next, but that'll be a cinema match, in itself for sure. Caesar says respect the Cauldron. I guess.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, why is Caesar in chat but not replying to anything in our group? Listen, where was Caesar, bro? Was this guy riding horses, bro? I'm sick, bro. This guy literally is in Twitch chat but not responding to fucking Discord, bro. Yeah, you're off the team, buddy.
That's right, Caesar. We can make our North Texas team. Don't worry.
Oh my god, he's in the snow.
He's
sorry.
in the snow right now.
Of course he is, bro.
Those who know.
Oh well. All right. Well, Luis, I think that might do it for us in the booth. But we want to give you a little time for some shout-outs if you have any.
Yeah. Thank y'all for streaming. Thank you for commentating. Saw all the kind of viewership number get to like 33, 34 viewers. So that was awesome, man. Appreciate all the EM guys that tuned in. Kiwi, Huey's friends. Collins friends, anybody that came out. So yeah, GG's. Thank y'all for coming, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a better result next time.
Very nice, very nice. Well, Luis, I would tell you to have a good night, but we're probably going to talk to you a little bit later with the podcast. So I guess goodbye for now, and we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Perfect.
Yeah, just like
Perfect.
that. Yeah, literally. It's kind of crazy how we're probably like we could probably do like a quick review of this, but we're probably just gonna be jumping like right back into talking about like week 6 of the whole. So yeah,
Yeah,
like
no, that works. Let's do that.
yeah, so just to give you guys a little bit of a recap, yeah, El Matador going up 2-0 against ECRC. You thought things were gonna go their way so much, but then ECRC just bringing it back all the way, getting that reverse sweep. And honestly, I think there may be one more thing that we can show here before we end up taking a little break over to the pod.
Yeah, can we
Um,
pull that up real quick? We have a few seconds. We've got a video.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Come on!
Oh,
No way! Go.
fucking reverse sweep them.
Let's go!
I'm dropping the GGs right now. Oh.
Come on!
That's awesome. That's actually awesome. I love that. And I know as somebody who records comms, and obviously I've had a few clips shown of our guys from, especially from last year's playoff run that we had. It's such a great feeling. And obviously, yeah, like I said earlier, just reverse sweeping any team, any circumstance, it doesn't matter. Just always feels good.
Oh, absolutely. And wherever you capture on a moment like this where you can show it off to people over here, always a good time. Always good to hear all the emotion come through the comms over there. Beautiful moments like these. Glad Smashly captured this so we can throw it on stream for y'all to look. And yeah, that'll wrap it up for this little review. But we're gonna take a look at the table real quick, just real quick, a bit update.
The updated table.
Before we send this over, and we're getting a little bit of a live change as you see right there. For the moment, through these 6 games played for EM and Emerald City RC, they are taking top of the table and even level in game percentage.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to note too, for the 4-2 teams, of course, if Timber's Army, my team, beat EC Eternal, they're still not going to be on the same points. So, of course, it all just depends on that KC series and how they do. And I think they play locals, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be a little bit of a sleeper there. We can talk about that a little bit later on the podcast. But KC Cauldron right now could be provisional 1, but that means the lowest that EM and ECRC will go is 2 and 3. TA cannot catch them as we reach the halfway point of the season. So absolute cinema first half of the season there for the Prem side. Of course, we'll talk about the championship probably a little bit later, but yeah, absolute cinema so far.
Yep. As you mentioned, talking about the championship later, they're on a bit of a break. They have a cup week, so I know you saw action yesterday between the Army and ECD, so that'll continue this week as championship sides have to schedule that. There's only one more match to be played between LV and Black and Gold Old Timers. And for the rest of the Prem, we got Cauldron versus the locals, and we got Timber's Army versus EC Eternal. So stick around for that. Stick around for the podcast. We will be right back. Rydog, anything else for you before we take a little break?
No, let's do it. Yeah, stay tuned for the podcast. Should be a good time talking about week 6 and I'm sure this first part of week 7 as well. So stay tuned, and thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds good. Peace.
Peace.